So the guy that leaked some episode 9 stuff a few days ago leaked some more stuff, and it actually made me a teeny bit angry.
The hate is swelling in you now.
You're fulfilling your destiny.
In another video, I talked about some of the episode 9 leaks from this user. Here's a quick summary of them though. Hux isn't a primary antagonist in this film and is not in the latter half. We get flashbacks of Leia and Han dropping off Ben to Luke for training and of Ben piloting the Falcon. When Ben is dropped off with Luke, he talks about wanting to be a Jedi and protecting good. In present time, we get Lando's daughter and Poe piloting the Falcon, Rey visits Tatooine, Knights of Ren are in quite a bit of episode 9 and Matt Smith is one of them. Luke, Rey, and Kylo have scenes together. Kylo reforges his helmet, but ditches it later in the movie. Richard E. Grant is a First Order general. Rose isn't in many action scenes, and Kerry Russell is involved in Luke's storyline.
Okay, so the leaker added on even more to that and reconfirmed some things he already said. As always, take this information with a grain of salt. All leaks should be. Even if they're complete BS, I still love to talk about them because I love to speculate and theorize. So let's talk about those new leaks.
He shared at the beginning of episode 9, the Resistance is still grassroots and the First Order is dominant, which is kind of a duh, especially if we're only getting a year time jump like suggested. He did say he knows nothing on Snoke, so that hopefully adds more to the Snoke is dead and staying dead camp. He let us know the first scene we see with Poe and Finn is with them hooded and in the streets. There will be several large animatronic creatures, and there will be a lot of extras, and they likely came to this location to meet up with Lando's daughter Vera, who was sent by her dad. Vera will engage in a bar fight, which will then involve Finn and Poe. Stormtroopers arrive and there's a chase where eventually Chewie shows up to help. There will also be horses in this area. They eventually escape and make it to Vera's base, where Dominique's character, Arville, is located.
Now here's a bomb. Hux is actually working with them in some relation, and even though Hux is supposedly taken care of early and not a primary antagonist, he has a really interesting role to play.
I'm still betting he tries to use the Resistance by feeding them info to get Kylo killed. The leaker said Hux has quite the arc, so trying to kill Kylo and then being killed or detained could be interesting. And after they made Hux into a cartoon villain in The Last Jedi, I can see how Disney would want to get rid of him quickly and not make him a primary player. Still disappointed about what they did to Hux in The Last Jedi, but the damage is done and you just gotta move on.
Back to Vera, her dad Lando is going to be in episode 9, we already knew that, but supposedly he's supposed to be very funny and cool. I'm hoping we get smooth talking Lando again. The leaker also said that Poe and Vera hit it off and they have really good chemistry. But here's the thing, Poe's actor, Oscar, has chemistry with everyone, so dude's a sex magnet.
He also confirmed in this leak that this is in fact Vera, Lando's daughter, and they are on Batuu. So Poe and Vera do seem to have more screen time together, which may lead to a romance. But really, I don't care if Poe has romance or not. I'm kinda neutral on this. Finn and Chewie are of course there. On Finn, he said that the character has a huge payoff that will have people cheering in theaters. I'm still banking on him starting a Stormtrooper rebellion, but hey, I'm a dreamer. There's such a disconnect between books and comics Finn and what we see on screen. It would be nice for the two to merge, or at least start to seem like the same character. And if you don't believe me, Finn feels like a completely different character, at least read his Before the Force Awakens story.
It's actually really bizarre. I got accused of making Finn fanfiction when I did a video covering his story pre The Force Awakens. Yeah. It's that different.
Not surprisingly, the leaker talks a lot about Kylo and his redemption. Like, he's really pushing that Kylo is humanized and saves the day. Which, please let it be from Rey going psycho and to the dark side, and Kylo has to slit her throat.
Some of it, honestly, is kinda eh. They say that Ben Solo becomes disillusioned with his inherent power. Also that Luke isn't the cool best friend uncle that we think he was. So I guess that's what we're doing in episode 9. We're going to shit on Luke more and make him the nasty, evil, mean Uncle Jedi Master.
He reiterated that when Ben is first dropped off with Luke by Han and Leia, Ben says he wants to be a strong Jedi and a guardian of peace. And at the very least, the leaker talked about Ben and Han in a positive light, because Han was not painted as the best father before this film. Supposedly when Ben is young, he wanted to be like Han, where Han just wanted Ben to be like himself. So that's kind of endearing.
Okay, so why does Kylo turn good in episode 9?
Well, he expanded on the First Order and Knights of Ren's role in the movie. According to him, the First Order are like Nazis that want everyone to follow their ideology, where the Knights of Ren have superiority issues and believe they should and can control worlds through their powers like gods. This leads the Knights of Ren and First Order to be at odds, and Kylo disagrees with both evil factions. Which is what he said to Rey in a way. He wanted to get rid of factions. But I guess this is what makes him turn to the good guys. Lastly, on Kylo, he confirmed again that Ben pilots the Falcon, and he's alone in the cockpit when he pilots it.
This is where a lot of people called bullshit on this guy. From what he knows, he speculated that Rey is actually Luke's child. Yeah, I know.
So he claimed that Carrie and Mark have scenes together, and in one, Carrie, who is actually Mara, is pregnant and Luke is distraught. He also speculated that this might be because it is Luke's baby. However, he asserts that Rey was left on Jakku without Luke or Ben's knowledge. Okay, so here's some random bits from him. He claimed that the filming location in Jordan is being used for 2 planets. Hey, all desert planets look alike, right? BB-8's new droid sidekick is green and I guess a dickhead? Speaking of droids, Rey is off with R2-D2 at some point, and C-3PO is in some Leia-centric scenes. In fact, I guess there's at least one scene where C-3PO and Leia are the only 2 in the room. Lastly, filming ends in a few weeks, we've known that for a while, and they are doing reshoots and will continue to do so through the spring season.
Now, another user recently came forward and confirmed some of what he said, denied some of what he said, and then said, I don't know with the other stuff.
He also believes Jordan was used for 2 planets, and one is actually Tatooine. He verified Mark has shot with Daisy, most likely, and that Kylo's helmet is used less in the second half of the movie. He couldn't deny or confirm that Carrie and Mark have scenes together, and if Mark has filmed more than a week at this point. He adds that he doesn't know if Mark is providing a Force-bound presence on set with dubbed-over voice, or insertion later for some scenes, as Mark has been seen around set. The user confirmed that Luke is involved in a lot of flashback dream visions sort of stuff, and that there might be a scene of Luke arriving at Ahch-To. On a scary note, one crew person states that it wasn't Luke during those scenes, but a younger actor playing a younger Luke, which is just really fucking weird given the de-aging ability we have now, even if it isn't perfect. Lastly, he gave a warning that he doesn't know everything either, and that it is hard to piece together info solely from speaking with different crew members.
So what are your thoughts on this? Which parts do you hope are true, and which parts would you absolutely hate if they were?
Thanks so much for watching. Please like the video and subscribe for more Star Wars videos.